What differentiates you between traditional financial planners and yourself? What is the differentiator?
Well, so there's two schools of thought. Glad you asked that. When it comes to money, so there's typical advisors, and they're all most of it's based on what I call the accumulation theory. Okay, so the accumulation theory, if you're hearing it, you're hearing buy and hold. You're in it for the long haul. Max out your 401k, dollar cost average, get out of debt, including your mortgage, and buy term investor different, buy term insurance and investor difference, in mutually funded IRAs or whatever. So most traditional uh, wealth managers are really focused on their investment advisors. They want you to put money in mutual funds. Okay. And so for your listeners, the planning is different. So what we do is I have a principles based approach. So the people that find me, their objective is work optional income. And so what principles are, and I can you hit them now, we hit them later, but principles, my framework is I teach principles that help our clients become and remain financially free. I'll just hit them real quick now, because this is the difference, because there's a different school of thought. See, there's the velocity method. Okay, so there's accumulation theory, typical advice, and then there's the velocity method. So if you look at corporate finance, they don't teach the stuff I just said. They focus on velocity, moving money through assets, right? Keep them. So, for example, velocity of money in real estate is the Burr method, right? Because you're
Mm-hmm.
buy, refurbish, refinance, repeat. Take the new
Mm-hmm.
money, move it into a new project. That's velocity. That's nothing to do with accumulation. And typical planning is based on hope, right? Hope the market goes up. Hope, hope. I was watching. What was the Star Wars story? It was like, oh, revolutions are built on hope. Okay, but financial planning is not, or should not. But you know, I I build planning on certainty and guarantees, right? And so when you're talking to a principles based, or what I call the velocity method, our focus is on A, velocity, B, cash flow, right? You want to buy assets. What's an asset? Something that puts money in your pocket. So we try to help our clients build a portfolio of cash flow engines, things that send you a check, because your objective is not retirement, which is some made up age and made up number, which is not true. Because you can't accumulate enough money for retirement. That's the big lie. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And but financial freedom is the capacity. What is that? What is, when you talk about upfront, most people, even investors, don't even know what they're trying to do. I was working with a woman, and it took me 20 minutes to get her to articulate why she was doing real estate. What did she want to do? I finally, 20 minutes later, said, "Oh, I want $15,000 a month." Okay. Well, how much do you make per property? I make this. Well, how many of those you need to get $15,000 a month? Blah blah blah. Oh, there's your plan. Okay, that's your using real estate as an asset class, right? The other part of the accumulation theory. Now you're not trying to get out of debt. You want leverage, right? Because there's good debt and bad debt. You want um, risk management. So you love insurance because insurance transfers your risk away, and then institutions buy permanent insurance. They don't write term insurance, right? And so what I discovered probably 10, 12 years into business is that the corporate finance or velocity method works in personal finance, and it works better. So the difference between me and them is I focus on cash flow, not on accumulating what I call paper assets in mutual funds, hoping the market goes up. I teach people to operate based on principles, because principles work no matter what. We put together game plans. Your plan has to work no matter what. Have to work when markets are up. Has to work when
That's right.
markets are down. Has to
That's
work
right.
when markets are sideways. Has to work if one of the breadwinners die, get disabled, get sued. You know, that's a plan. You have to have a bulletproof. You have to build. We call it P. Uh, Protection. Yeah, PSG, protection. You have to start with defense. I got so many acronyms in my head. Then it's savings, then it's growth. Most people start with growth and they're always chasing investments, but you have to play defense. I'm the defensive coordinator. Okay. I always tell people Terry's offense, right? Investing in real estate, buying assets. I'm defense. I'm here to make sure you don't lose money. So principles are, and I'll end with this segment with this, just 5 principles. Save. Let me define savings because people think, oh, I'm putting 15% in my 401k. That's not saving. Okay. That's investing. And I could make a strong argument. It's really not investing and speculating, but that's another topic. And so savings. Let me define savings. Safe, liquid, accessible. Accessible means you can get to it. Guaranteed. You can't lose money. Maximum protection, right? So you got to have a plan that works no matter what. Sick, live, die, get sick, get sued. So you have to put a moat around your castle. That's protection. You want to have legacy. We involve people in legacy planning because my objective is to help our clients create a legacy of wealth and the wisdom to go along with it. Okay. And then there's the fourth principle is most people are way too illiquid. So we want 6 to 12 months of liquidity of either your expenses or your income in cash or cash equivalents. Now, the first 90 days is your emergency fund. Everything above that is your opportunity fund. But I want you to be liquid. You got to have dry powder. People say, oh, I got $10,000. Can I start investing? How much is your income a month? 10,000? Okay, no, you got a month, right? So I don't even want to put your fund your 401k. Those of y'all still on the fence trying to be investors, I don't even want you to fund your 401k until you got 90 days in cash and you're in an emergency money. Because if you don't have money, something comes up, you got to go into debt, right?
Yeah.
And then the fifth principle is velocity, right? Are you buying assets that generate a check? So when we look at our clients, we say you measure backwards. So if I meet you today and your cash flow is net, passive. I have a client, she's making like $4,000 a month off of her rentals, right? Has a great job, makes 300 grand a year. I said, we do these kickoff meetings at the beginning of the year. So we're having this conversation 12 months from now. What is it that you want to have happen? She says, I want another $4,000 a month. So she wants 100 grand a year or $8,000 a month in passive income. So that's specific, right? So, all right, what do you have to do that? Well, I want to do apartment buildings and but so now my planning is designed to support that because typical planning is designed to send money away from you, right? And put it in little silos, SEPs and 401ks and things you can't touch. But if you're listening to this, you're trying to be an active investor, so you need access to your capital so that you
Wait,
can buy
but
stuff that makes money.
yes. Yes. Okay. And we're going to get
I set people up to do that.
okay, and we're going to get there. I believe it's safe to say in order for your planning to occur, one would need a vision and goals for their finances, right? So speak to the importance of having a vision, a financial vision, and establishing financial goals.
See, so it's hard to reach a target you don't have. So let's start with that. And so, what this is the part I should have finished when we started. I'm known for helping families and business manage their money so they feel safe and free at the same time. And I try to focus on 4 things. So, you want to know where you want to go, but you have to start out with, you got to figure out where you are right now. Right. So it's like a GPS. I have a service called a financial GPS. And so, they don't even really know where they want to go. Okay. But if we figure that out, now where are you? What is position A? Right. What do you have now and what's working and what don't you like about it? So this goes back to that. Right. You want to make sure do you have cash flows, your money flowing? And you want to be protected no matter what. So that's the starting point. But I think that it starts with, because what happens is if you don't know what you're trying to accomplish, so if you tell me, well, Curtis, I want X amount of cash flow a month within 10 years. I want to, leave my job in 8 years. Well, okay, that's a very specific type of investing that will do that. Like, will maxing out your 401k get you there? No, because it's not designed to do that, right? It's not designed to cash flow. Typical advice really focuses on getting you to do what the financial institutions want you to do, right? And so here are the 4 rules of the financial institutions. They want your money. They want it on a regular basis. They want to keep it there as long as possible. And they never want to give it back, or they want to give it back as slow as possible, right? So, but your goal, I think, if you're listening to this, is passive income greater than expenses. So every financial product is built with those 4 rules in mind. Now, I'm not throwing them under the bus. You just have to have your own agenda. Otherwise, you're going to fall into their agenda, which seems like status quo. But somebody said status quo is for Latin for the mess that we're in. Oh, the mess that we're in, or something like that. That's not what it means, but that's a joke. These are jokes, people. And I can't be totally serious for long.
Yo, we could have talked for days, but because we want you to join us next Tuesday for another episode of Terri Talks, that's it for today. I'm sure you've gained insight, tools, and steps that will help you not only talk about personal and financial change, but be about it. Please do me a favor. Don't just observe the information, but implement it. Don't just absorb more education, but execute. Please, ma'am, please, sir, don't just be a hearer of this good word, but be a doer. Until next Tuesday, follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for more of what I'm doing, practical tips and tactics, tools and insights that will help you increase in impact, influence, and income. Talk soon.